Hello, friends. Back again for another update review. It's like a series now, isn't it? Of the Glass Weaver's Tale, which I'm really enjoying. I've read the Glass, or not the Glass Weaver's Tale. I've read Cafe Arabica. I'm on the Glass Weaver's Tale now at the minute, but we're not going to have the review up for that until tomorrow, Monday. But I'm on the Cafe Arabica or Arabica. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but uh, this is the story. This is one of the longer ones. This is more like a novella. And this is my second time videoing this because the first time I done it, I thought I gave too much away. This is a tricky one. I'm trying not to spoil anything of these stories because I find the guy, Riddihough, and again his name's going to be in the description, and you're going to find his channel and all through the description. If this is the first video you see, please check it out. Please check out his website. It's good stuff. If you like hard SF, it's very, very good. I can say that now with confidence because I've read a good lot of it, and I'm a good bit through his last tale, the Glass Weaver's Tale, and I can say that if you're just new and you're just seeing this channel or this video for the first time, I can say with full confidence, it's top class SF, and if you're into SF at all, it's definitely worth picking up. But that out of the way, Cafe Arabica. This is a story in the third person again. The guy's giving us, and I'm trying my best not to spoil this. No, it's tricky, this one. You have a story in third person about this lady in later stage of life. She is a mother and she has a husband and children, and that's all that's what she is. She's like a housewife, that's her job, that's what she does. She looks after her family. So her family means a lot to her, and that's very important in the story too. That's her life. But she had a past life. The echoes of the past will come and creep up on us at some stage, and they come up on her in this story. The echoes of the past. He wrote that in one of the lines, and that's the line that stuck with me. And she starts to have memories of what happened in her younger days, and it's only the grief that a mother would have. So this one's good for this one's more for the female reader, I think, too. And he done a great job actually writing this guy. I think this is the first story which is kind of in a female perspective, but it's very good. It's very well written, and the relationship she has with the kids and with the people around her was very good. But she starts to get memories, sort of losses. She starts to forget her kids' names, or forgets her husband's name, and she's going through menopause, and she starts to think that she's going through like dementia, and just fears in her and the whole story. This fear of like losing her mind, a bit like David Kindleback, but David Kindleback's a bit shorter, and I think it was Madeline actually said a comment about that's one of her worst fears is losing your mind. Well, this here story will kind of creep you out a wee bit. There's a bit that's freaky, and it gets a bit creepy. There's a few of these are actually a bit creepy. You're good at horror, guy, or like that suspense. You don't know what's happening. I will spark this up, but I better put it down in a minute. But yes, there's that sort of suspense throughout this story, and the more it goes, the more it kind of starts to get, you're on edge of your seat. They're all page turners. I have to admit, it's very well written. You don't know what's going to happen next. You might think you know, but you want to get there as well because it's just exciting, and it's exciting seeing the characters go through the scenes to see if you're right or not. It's one of them ones that's very good. It's hard, and plus you hate to think. But we'll go on more about the plot. Pippa is a mother and the main story, the main protagonist in this. I think she's going through a midlife crisis, menopause, dementia. Echoes of the past, I've said that, but she starts to want to reach out to people from her past to try and shut the door on things that she regrets. But whilst she's doing that, she has all these memory confuddles, and she used to be a lab scientist. I'll say this, I'm trying not to spoil it, but she used to be a lab scientist, and something to do with her research that she done when she was younger is a big part of this story. It's very human. It'd be emotional for this girl. Her emotions going all over the place, fear and all that, and love, or does she love? And but it is SF, and it comes to see when it gets to the SF part and the way that the characters talk about the research that they're doing and the machine they're trying to start. This is when they're younger, and then when they're older, they meet up again. But the way that guy Riddihough kind of explained it, it wasn't tricky. It's very intriguing. It's one of them sort of stories where like it's just interesting. You know, it's very hard SF. It makes you think. It's all about ideas. Guy Riddihough is all about ideas. That's hard SF. It's the, you know, every story so far. It's making you think, and it's deep philosophical. I'll say that, and it's all been very interesting, very good. As I said to him in a message, I'm on board. I'll be picking up his next book and every future book that he writes. He is that good. In my opinion, you know, I think he's a top class SF writer, and it's a shame that he hasn't had the the confidence from the big publishers. But that's where I'm saying again. I'm going to say it many times. The big publishers don't know what the fuck they're doing anyway. So please try out these independent authors, because they're the ones that are talking different. The big publisher want to sell you the same thing over and over again, because that's what sells. But it's not for me and you as readers. It's been reading for years. We want to try something exciting and different every time. I've read all the same thing over and over again, but the big publishers wanting to pump out as much as they can, so they're using the same fucking trope, the same sort of style, and like romanticy now is a big thing. So they pump it out like fuck, and that's all you're getting. The science fiction sort of world, they don't have that sort of new, you know, that, what was it, like Michael Moorcock and J.G. Ballard, and all. You're not getting that sort of SF anymore. You're getting different, and hopefully it's starting to creep in again. The new wave, that was I'm trying to think of it there in my head, but I'm hoping it's starting to creep in again. But with writers like Guy, in the independent world, they're the ones that are keeping it. Keeping it alive. As I said, it's there. It's just it's tricky to find it. But this wee small channel, I know I'm very small. As I said, I was doing my 4th video in this book now, because that's trying to get more videos out and more people to know. It's very good, and as I say, I'll go on more with the story, because I want to try and keep about 10 minutes. But with this here story, you see, whenever you get to the ending bit parts of it, you really feel for your girl Pippa. You start to be, you know, as a father myself. That's why I have to do these videos at night, fuck's sake. You know, in bed and get peace. But there's a scene that she goes through, and it's heart-wrenching, and it makes you fucking worry, and it makes you think about reality, and what if reality was that fragile, where in the science that Guy Riddihough has given us in this book, with I don't want to ruin anything, with the particle thing. I'm trying to not ruin it. Read it. This machine thing that they're making. It has a big point in it, and that is, I'm trying not to ruin it, but it is SF. But you're getting all them human emotions and philosophical ideas. It's top class so far, and that's, I've got 2 more stories to read, but the last story is one I'm not going to talk about in this channel. It's the last story. It's probably the shortest one, but he wrote it in like 2007, so that's one that if you buy his book, you're going to read that yourself. I'm thinking, I was wanting to read a wee bit actually. This is the bit where people turn off now. I'm going, fuck, this man can't read. Not with his Northern Irish accent. I don't even know what he's saying. But I try. And I don't know where it is now. But it's quite a big bit. But I want to just kind of get you a wee bit of an ease of Oh, come on. This is the bits I should edit out, but you know what I want to say next, don't you? I fucking won't. Here we go. I had to wet my whistle here. Ah. This is when Pippa was waking up. She couldn't sleep. She was forgetting where she was and losing her mind a wee bit, with memories. And she looks out the window, and I'll try and not butcher this. The child must have wandered into their garden from a nearby house, perhaps the result of a family argument, or to fulfill some daily dare. Still, Pippa hesitated, both unsure of how to proceed and reluctant to disturb the surreal tableau before her. As she watched, the moon was obscured behind a cloud, and the scene in the garden became darker and full of complex shadows, reducing the child to little more than a faint blur of light. What time was it? She glanced behind her and squinted at the display in the oven. 2:31 a.m. It was much later than she had thought. She looked back into the garden. The child was gone. Pippa felt a stab of anxiety. Had the girl slipped into the trees? The late hour imbued the situation with a disturbing quality. The poor thing might be afraid and lost, or worse, in danger. Although she did not want to, Pippa felt obliged to follow. She slid the French doors open, stepping out into the chilly night air. The outline of the wood merged with the depthless grey black of the overcast, concentrating the darkness in the wood's dense understory. Pippa felt her anxiety coil and tighten in her chest. The child must have gone into the woods, she thought again, of danger, but could see nothing untoward in the shadows that ranged about the garden. Moving across the lawn, the grass damp with dew, under her bare feet, she came abreast of the trees that marked the wood's edge. She leaned forward, trying to see among the trunks. Was that the child? A little way ahead, but much closer now. Still looking away from her, further into the woods. Yes, it was. Pippa called out, "Hello!" There was no response. She called again, and advanced several steps further into the wood. As she did so, the child turned to look at her. Instinctively, Pippa stopped. Somewhere above, the moon appeared through the clouds for a moment. A stray shaft of moonlight illuminated the spot where the girl stood, revealing her delicate, pale white face and dark eyes. Pippa felt her heart contract as she strained to see the other's features more clearly. Who? And then she recognized the child. The girl, looking back at her, shook her head, turned, and ran, becoming lost among the trees. Don't go, Pippa called, stumbling into the darkness. She tripped and fell, and knowing the child to be gone far beyond her reach, lay still in the undergrowth. Back in the living room, scratched and bruised from her fall, she sat on the couch, trembling, face in hands. She knew very well who the child was. Her own. But the two children that she had or knows were in bed. This one's different. So how does she know it's her own? But she knows it's her own child. It's like you having your kids in bed and you look out and see a child in your back garden and you go and chase after it, and you know with your memory, even though it's the first time you've seen this little girl or little boy, you know it's yours. It's like yourself looking back at you. That love for that child. I'll just say that. This is I don't want to try and read it. We're 15 minutes in. But yes, another great story. And I can say confidently that The Last Weaver's Tale is very good too. Imaginative. Very, very impressive imagination actually. But that's a different video. So, all the best everybody. I'm sorry for late videos at 12 o'clock and all, but it's just the time. It's the only time I seem to get the time to do them at the minute. I could do it, but I could do it through the day, but you'd hate kids running in and me going, right, I'll pause this, and then fucking run about after them and tell them, shush, stop, ah. And then the next thing you know, the fucking toys will be flying over here, and I'd be losing the head. I'm trying to talk to my book friends. But that's why I do it at night time. Bit of peace. just chill out and have a wee beer with you. So thanks for listening again, everybody, and leave comments and get conversations going, and hopefully get a short story, not from this as well, up in review next week. The story, that new book I got today, Evening and Morning, or Morning and Evening. The Stew. It's a brilliant wee channel, or a brilliant wee book blog. Recommended me that author, and I hope to get that up sometime in the week as well. And a poem on Thursday, as usual. But I think I got a good one for this Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, all the best, everybody.